back, and this is my first YouTube video. In this video I will show you how to create this simple menu with few lines of code. For the start, we will make a new folder. I will call my folder sandwich menu and drag it to the Visual Studio Code. In this lesson we will need the Visual Studio Code plugin live server. I already installed this plugin. You can install it and come back to the lesson. For the start, we'll make a simple index.html file and another index.js file. Inside the HTML, we will make a simple h2 just for testing. Inside the h2 we'll say hi, and we give the h2 ID of hi. And right before the closing body tag, we'll make another tag with the name of script, and inside the script we'll give it source of the index.js file. Inside the index.js file we will make this simple function document dot get element by id dot style dot color equal red. And now if it will work, we need to see the h2 tag in red. So we come back to the index.html file, right click, open with live server, and if it works we need to see, oh, so the JS function doesn't work well. So come back to the JS file, and as we can see we didn't choose which element to take, so parentheses before the get element by id func, and inside this we will give it the hi tag. And now we will save, and we need to see the red color. Yes, so it's working. Come back to the HTML file and delete the JS function and also the h2 tag. We'll make a new div with ID of nav that hold our button and our logo. Inside the nav we will make another div with ID of logo, and inside this we will say logo. Now we need to create the menu button, so we give it ID of menu button, and as you saw in the start we will have two straight lines just like sandwich. So we will use span with ID of line and class of f represent first. We will copy this span and give the another one class of s represent secondary. Outside the nav div, outside not inside, we will make another div with ID of menu. Inside the div we will make a list with 3 items. Inside each item we will make another tag of hey with empty link, sorry for that typing, and we will copy it 3 times. Now we can save it, come back to the document, refresh it, and as you can see we have the list with our logo div. So we come back to the HTML, we say inside the li items we say about, work, and contact. Okay, you can save it now, and we'll come back to the head tag at the top of the HTML file. Inside the head tag we will make a new tag of style. Inside the style tag we will make our CSS code. First we will start with the body. We give it a margin of 0, padding of 0, height of 100 VH, and width of 100%, so it will stretch. And after the body tag, we will make the menu, and for the menu we need also a width of 100 and height also of 100, position fixed, background red. We will make the text align left, and color inside the menu is white, and we will give it index of 10. And for the sliding animation, we'll also make it transform and translate on the x-axis 150%. Okay, now we can take our UL tag and remove the list style styling, remove the black dot, and also the li tag. We need to give it a font size of let's say 4.5, and margin of 10% from the bottom, the top, and the sides. Now we will also tell the a tag to be without the text decoration. As you can remember, the a tags have this underline. So also for the color, we will say unset, because the default color of a tag is blue. Now we can style the nav div. We will give it a width of 100% to stretch, height of 80 pixels, and position fixed, and z index of 11. It needs to be higher because we want to see the logo and the menu over the menu holder, over the menu tag. Now we can style the logo. Logo will say position absolute, left 5%, color black, font size let's say 2, and we'll give it the top of 15%, so it will be lower 50% from the top. Now we can style the menu button. Also we give it position, sorry for my bad writing, position absolute. We'll give it 5% from the right and top, and 40 from the top, and it will be width of 50 pixels. Also the height will be 50 pixels, sorry. And for the line, if you remember the line ID, we give it the width of 40 pixels, so the lines will be 40 pixels long, and the height will be 2.5 pixels with a black background, and position absolute. Now that we have the styling, we can save the whole thing and move back to the document, refresh, and as you can see, this is our logo and this is our menu. For now we just see one line. Now we will fix it, come back to the HTML, and we'll take the F class, we'll give it also position absolute with a top of 0%. And for the secondary class, you remember the S, we'll say 10% from the top, or maybe 12% from the top. Now let's save, refresh, and as you can see, we have two straight lines, just like our menu. Now, come back to the style. We will change the background of the lines to be black. And save it again. And now we'll talk about the Gsap animation plugin. Gsap animation plugin is a JavaScript animation library that really make easy on you to animate CSS properties, SVH, some canvas element, some WebGL elements, 3JS, and many more. So you can type Gsap CDN, and the first option you will get cdnjs.com. You can just copy the script tag, move back to the HTML file, and right before the closing body and before the index.js file, we will copy and paste the Gsap plugin. And now we can move to the index.js file. So now we will read a little bit about the Gsap plugin, sorry. And I need the timeline. Yes, that's it. Again, sorry for my bad English. Okay, I need a timeline. Timeline is just a sequencing tool. We will not use it at all, just for show you the options of Gsap. We can take the code example in the greensock.com website. Can come back to the JS file. I'm not using the var keyword, so I will delete it and say let. Inside we will delete this thing. We will say is sign.in. And now we'll take our menu button. So we will make an const with the name of menu button. It will equal document.query selector. Query selector, just like get element by ID, but you can do anything. You can do classes, you can do tags. You don't have to do only IDs. So inside we will take the menu button ID, menu button div, and we'll make another var. This var we will detect if the menu is open or closed. So we'll say let, and we call it is menu open. It will equal to false. Okay, so what we need to give the menu button and function, so when we click on the menu button it will open the menu with a sliding animation, and when we click it another time it will close it. So the first time it will open the menu, and the second time that we clicked it will close the menu. So we can implement this like that. We will say menu button dot head event listener. The event will be the click event. We'll use the arrow functions. And now inside the menu button event listener, we'll say if is menu open equal false. So if is menu open equal to false, and as we can see on the start it equal to false, the menu should be open. the menu should be open. And now, for us to make the function continue, we will need to do this: is menu open equal true. So now we can do this: else if is menu open equal true, now the menu should be closed. And for us to loop in this function, we will need to say also is menu open, but now it will be equal to false. So let me explain this. For the first time, over clicking, the is menu open equal to false. So if is menu open equal to false, the menu should be open. After we click, we set the is menu open to equal true. So if we have another click, the else if function is triggered because the is menu open equal true. So else if is menu open equals true, the menu should be closed. So I hope you understand this kind of implementation. It will be very easy for you if you can practice with this function, with the if statements, and also in JavaScript you have the switch functions. It will be also very similar. So now we will play with a Gsap code. So let the fun begin. Inside the menu open, we will say Gsap dot to, and we will take the f class, and we'll say the f class for the first time that we click will be in top of 12%, because if you remember, the second class of the line is in top of 12%. So we can rotate. Oh, sorry, maybe it's 11. Let me check. No, 12. So we give the first class a 12% from the top to be equal to the second line, and we will make it rotate in 40. I don't remember what the Gsap equivalent for this 40, if it is degrees or pixels. So just give it 40 and duration of 1. We can copy this and just replace the F with the S, and we don't need to give it any of top. Just rotate this on 40, but from the opposite. So when we will click on the button, it will be X. Let's come back to the document and see this. Refresh, click, and as you can see, it is on X shape. So come back to the document, to the text editor, sorry, and now we'll make the timeline just for testing and playing with the timeline option. We'll say TL period 2. We'll say the menu ID, and we will say the X. If you remember, we transformed the menu 150 from the X's, so we'll give it a 0 and duration of 1. So now when we're clicking on the menu button, we'll see the X shape and the menu sliding. So refresh, click, as you can see the menu is sliding. But now we need to implement the closing animation and the closing function. So inside the else if, first we can copy this code and just tweak it. Okay, so when we want to close, the first line will be back to the 0 top, and the rotate will be 0. Also for the second line, the rotate will be 0. And now we give the menu also translate of 150 on the axis. So 150, save it, come back to the document, refresh, click, and as you can see the menu is opening, click in another time and it's closing. And now you can check it on mobiles. You can see, you can click the menu. As you can see, the menus look beautiful on mobile, and we can take the iPad version and see the menus look amazing also on iPad. So I hope you enjoy this. You can find the Codepen of this lesson in this URL, and I hope you enjoy this tutorial. I am Ofek, and I hope to see you and to hear from you in the comments. Thanks. Have a good evening.